for me personally, my favorite is possibly Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
What the hell? I really enjoyed that one.
The one that looks like a TV show on $1 million budget.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. The second one.
The second one kind of looks like a TV show as well.
I'm kind of, sorta. It doesn't look as big as the others, but I think that's one of the things I like about the Ant-Man films in general, is that they're small and they have less spectacle, because the bigger ones are just really overwhelming and sometimes a bit too bloated. With the Ant-Man films, things are a bit simpler, a bit smaller. What I like about Ant-Man and the Wasp isn't just its simplicity and casual sense of humour, just like the first Ant-Man, but there's also a lot of wholesomeness. We get to see Scott spending way more time with his daughter Cassie, and they have a very sweet bond. But we also have this very romantic and cute plot about an old man trying to reunite with his lost wife. That is so adorable to me. Oh, and there's a lot of charm to Jimmy Woo, who is probably the best Asian character in the MCU. Someone who deserves to have way more screen time in the franchise. He is just so lovable because you can tell that he wants to be respected as an agent, but at the same time, he has this goofy side, and he kind of wants to make friends with the criminals he needs to arrest. And yeah, and like, it gets really strange when they go subatomic. I kind of like the subatomic world and how out there it is. And one of the things I really love about the Ant-Man films, again, would be the comic relief characters. Some of the best comic relief characters in the MCU, with, like, particularly Louise. I think he's hilarious and just so adorable.
Interesting.
I think he's adorable. I think he's very... I find him very funny, very... And, like, he and Scott have an interesting redemption arc of going from criminals to starting their own security company. And, yeah, again, I'm not saying it's perfect, but, like... When I watched them all, that was the one I was spotting the most things that I personally like. And another thing I like would have... the first Ant-Man film kind of established the whole shrinking and growing mechanics, but I feel like the sequel played it way more with it and went a bit more crazy with it, and I had more fun because of that. But I will admit that the first Ant-Man has a better hero's journey compared to the sequel. But it's origin story, so it's probably going to have that anyway.
That's really interesting. I was actually going to ask you about Michael Pena, because for me, he's probably one of the most hit or miss comedic characters in the MCU. I
can see why people wouldn't like him. I get it. Trust me, I get it. But he fits a trope that I personally like. The whole kind of like wholesome, innocent chatterbox. I kind of like that kind of character. I like those ones. So yeah, but I get sometimes his verbal diarrhea can be an inconvenience, or it can ruin the tone. Particularly if a scene really requires him to get something across, and then he cuts to his whole
long story thing.
Long story thing. Yeah. So I will admit that they too can get a bit tiring after like the fourth one in the film or something. The first time they do it, you're like, oh yeah, that's pretty funny. But then like the fifth time, it's like, Louise, we're in a really serious situation right now. And I really like when he gets the truth serum, because it barely changes him. I like the weirder ones, and I like the smaller ones. Those are the ones I like.
Yeah.
And I think Ant-Man has both of those things.
I don't even know. I don't know if I remember too much about it. That one was the one with the weird, like, trapped in space girl. Ghost.
Yeah, the phase girl. Yeah.
And they steal the building.
Yeah, and they have to carry this building around, and they've got toy cars that they make big. It's just so silly. It's really silly, and I kind of like that, though. I like when the MCU films just go all out with their silliness. I kind of like that, because I just don't like films that take themselves too seriously. I really don't.